Good morning to you, my friends, wherever you may be in the world today. Alan Clements here from Santa Monica, California, United States of America, planet Earth. Today, May 19, 2021, the week 42 years ago that I ordained in New York City with the late Venerable Mahasi Sayadaw on the final day of his stay in this country, in which I invited him, along with a few friends, to lead, teach, guide a small group of us in the ancient, timeless practices of Satipatthana, Vipassana meditation, practical insight meditation. Thank you, sir. A very amazing event, shaving the head, donning the mahogany robes, leaving it all behind. But you really can't leave it behind. You carry, to state the obvious, we carry our memories, our conditioning, our proclivities, our propensities, our fractures, our doubts, our traumas, our scars, our memories, our aspirations, our repressions, our greeds, our fears, our hopes, the memorabilia of things that we hoped to achieve through heroic vision, and those areas of fear and shame that we chose to turn away from, either through conditions unrecognized in ourselves or obstacles that appeared too great to challenge external to ourselves. We carry ourselves inside of ourselves, reflected upon the mirrors of the sense doors, incessantly being seen and interrelated with. We do not have a choice to wake every day to engage the faces of our own lives. So today, if I may, an extemporaneous sharing on the faces of our lives, facing the faces of our lives, how to understand the faces of life. Just a few tangential announcements, if I may. This week I have a series of ongoing hospital visits and tests, along with renowned cardiac surgeons, to get a diversity of opinions on the nature of my biological well-being, the nature of my heart, and the various other aspects connected to the heart. A very challenging time. There's a part of me that wants to turn away, and to turn away from the world, to turn away from the ordinary, to turn away from news cycles, to turn away from commentary, to turn away from everything and anything that isn't about everything and everything. And what a challenging desire it is to renunciate in the world. And at the same time, you can't walk away. You can't walk away from your history, your biology, your conditions, your perceptions. We are captured, so to speak, by birth within a body and within consciousness. And we have this mindful choice to interact with this type of cognitive and physical capturing called a human life within the context of a body, on a planet, in a family. We have what appears to be a mindful choice to navigate the encounters and the faces of consciousness at the sense doors and its confluence with issues that appear to us from the outside. Who am I in relationship to the outside? in trying to navigate this thing day after day after day. Right now I feel like I want to turn away. I want to retire from form. I want to navigate the interiority, a radical sense of simplicity. A turning away isn't to forget the world. It's wanting to walk barefoot, to lie in the sun, to feel, to emote, to cry, to hold, to be held, to laugh, to satirize, to curse, to mimic, to shame, and to ridicule the demonic core elements of this strange, weird, invenerating thing called samsara, fraught with genocide, rape, nuclear weapons, Holocaust, Anthropocenes, asteroids, centipedes, genocidal sycophants, Wall Street, well-tied and groomed women and men, driven by money. All the variations on the theme of facing ourselves, facing life. What a tall order it is to wake up every day and to encounter existence. Oh my God, thankful for denial, thankful for self-obsession, thankful for gallows humor, an unwillingness to participate in the ridicule of existence and say, you know, I am bigger than that. I can laugh in the face of this evil. No matter what you do to me, I win. I'm thinking, where to go, with whom, why, what to do. This deep, deep sense right now of navigating the day, navigating the decisions, multitasking with so many little things and big things simultaneously. There's a perception of overwhelm by it all, but I refuse to participate in that consciousness. I want to navigate this thing, these choices, these experiences that have been handed to me and to you with skill. And the word that comes to mind here as I move forward into facing life, I take refuge in my own Dharma artistry. I refuse to give up the hard-earned, deep-felt, stylistic relationship to the phenomena of facing my own mind and body and facing the mind and body of life. That style, wink, look, touch, acknowledge, elevate, laugh, cry, tear, hope, poeticize, revolutionize, live within the radiant confluence of intimacy at the edge of shared existence. Therein lies that Rumi-esque place where we can play and love and dance. Why participate in the melodrama of aging, of disease, of death, of surgery, of crashes, of hope, of money, of loot, of mortgages, of time, of hate, of judgment, all the various invenerating things that make us human? Well, no, I want to turn away and face a more refined impression of the Dharma aesthetic of shaping life. I refuse to be handed death. I refuse to be handed illness. I refuse to be handed seriousness. Dhamma aesthetic. What are the colors? What are the tonalities? What are the elements of your interior curriculum of hope? Where do you wish to touch the God, the goddess of your ideal lover, you in this very moment? How do you wish to shape him and her into an erotic fantasy made real in the shared space of you and me here and now, a non-postponed Dharma aesthetic that wants to play in the sculpting of the multiplicity of faces of the same God, goddess, Buddha, Dhamma, refuge, Sangha. Why are we alive as humans other than to play in the spectacular cognitive landscape of shared space? And what will I do there with my thought, with my mind, with my emotions, with my psychology, with my choice-making mindful presence? What will I anoint there at the altar of my being with you and other? Conscience, artistry, integrity, dignity, all these words that really are felt emotional energies, occupying the grace and the style and the swag, the eroticism, the ubuntification, your own bodhisattva dedication to the elevation of the most beautiful qualities of your own being, the parami play, the dance of excellence. Never give up hope. No, I will never give up choice to evolve cognitive, emotional, mental, spiritual Dhamma style. We will wear the finest naked clothes to our own death and guillotine. We refuse to participate in the paradigm of evil. What is it that you will create today? How will you live and cry and consecrate your own God and your own goddess, your own Dhamma, on the meditation cushion of infinity and sit and abide in your Nibbana? In-breath, out-breath, in-breath, out-breath. Neither wish to live nor fear death. Engage the phenomena like constellations of infinite galaxies, teaching us Buddhang, Dhammang, Sanghang. All the constellations at the doorways of perception are Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, right? Do we see and feel Dhamma as vocation, Dharma artistry in the occupation of the good, the true, and the beautiful, the overcoming of kilesa? I want to walk away from fear. I am walking away from fear. I want to walk away from being a victim of existence. I'm walking away from existence and being a victim of existence. Never give up your gallows, your dark comedic humor. Win through resilience at the most existential level. Embody your 7 factors of enlightenment, Alan. Embody your 5 precepts. Embody your 10 paramis of excellence. Embody your mindful intelligence. Occupy your thought stylistically. Occupy your voice with artistry. Occupy tonality and words and choices and timing and space. Never give up making love. You're always in the tantrification of shared space. So long as you keep alive the willingness to dance and to love and to occupy, no one can take your life force from you unless you give them that power. And I refuse, because there's a willingness to stand steadfast, a dedicated conviction in Khanti. I will stand here and feel no matter what it is. And I refuse to participate in your dance of evil, death, and denigration. I will elevate with beauty, with kindness, with hope, with love, with tone, with space, with tenderness. The oneness at the core of this great radiance of evil and love. What will we do to dance in the poetry of your own unique style? Your own unique style. Your own unique style. Are you walking in swag through the house of horror? Are you willing to stand and dance and love and play and to create no matter what it appears to be too much to overcome? Courage. The wisdom to challenge limits, right? To shape out of the shifting of conformity. Protest. Protest as vocation. obedience to fear, obedience to greed, obedience to pretense, obedience to plagiarism. Be so crazily original that it doesn't even need to be articulate. Okay, you said that properly. Now say it with the fumble through the throat. Gurgle out your wisdom truth, no matter who and what. Look into the mirror of your own vulnerability and say, even the Buddha was vulnerable. Even God and the goddess is vulnerable. All of existence is a tumbling act of invenerating change. We're all in the same infinite cognitive causality without centrality. Whoa, whoa, bad design, but who can escape it through humor alone? It helps. In-breath, out-breath. Where is your Dharma? Or are you dogmatically attached to your idea of what the Buddha taught, of what mindfulness is? Dead, right, spiritually, psychologically correct cyborgs. In-breath, out-breath. I am meditating and I am a qualified Vipassana teacher. I mean, who in the hell has figured out the mystery? Pause halfway through. If you don't use your voice, the voice will collapse in on you. If you don't use your hands, they'll atrophy, no matter how nimble they are with yoga. If you don't live in the authenticity of your spirit, you'll conform to the needs and the perceptions of others that you have projected outward, but they're only inward hallucinations that you're not aware of. The trajectory is not out, but it's in. You are conforming as you judge other. You are shaping yourself into a stone figure, a replica of a paralyzed rock, solidified through delusion. Oh my God, I've created my own reality. I cannot do yoga other than through breaking the pretense of my need to be aligned to the projection of what a real yoga asana looks like. I am an enlightened Buddhist teacher. I am in the stone artifice of Sotapanna. Really? Is it really true? How do you know is it true? How have you arrived at permanence in an impermanent totality? Free yourself from the fixation of conformity. Let every obstacle turn itself into an incredible opportunity for theater and play and music and art and dance and humility. Be your own Shakespeare, Rumi, lover, whatever you need to do. Use your voice until there is no more voice to use, and then even use it more. Never give up, as it's been said by so many. Never, ever give up. Using your Dharma aesthetically and to face the faces of your own mind and body, face the faces of life, and turn the entire configuration of fear and greed and delusion, conformity. Who the fuck wants the fuck conformity? Right, you are a perfectly well-adjusted, highly trained Neo-Tantra, Goddess Tantrika. You do breathing perfectly. Now innovate with the edge of you being true to something deeper than conformity. Break out of the mold of the conformity of how it should be. No two of us will do enlightenment in the same way. Or is that a deluded thought? Think for yourself. Learn the fine Dharma art of discernment, of seeing choices on the palette of the present time phenomena of shared space. Pick it up and taste it, the art of going slow. Nope, I don't like fentanyl. It makes me numb as I become blissed out. No. I don't want the barbiturate of dogma. I'll know I'm talking and I'm remembering, but I don't remember anything. Dogma, deadening effect. Put the barbiturate of dogma back in the vial. Thank you, Mr. Pfizer. Or is it Johnson & Johnson? Or is it like the Satan brand called Num 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 in the name of your God, your religion, your Allah, your Buddha, your Avalokiteshvara? Everyone can be a victim of dogma and delusion, even the Buddha or the Dalai Lama. Really? Yes, otherwise, omnipotence and perfection is the biggest lie in the universe. Vulnerability. No one is a totalitarian, ultimate existential dictator. There is no one God. That means individual fractions, fractals of novelty. Dancing, fighting, configuring in an infinite display of horror and love. What will you do with the spontaneity of your lust? Never lose your voice. Learn to meditate in so many different ways that there's nothing other than meditation being blindingly real as it sets back the darkness of conformity. Come back to overcoming conformity. Come back to the artistry of creativity. Never give up. No matter what you do, never give up your art. Coming to the end. You have to learn art the hard way, right? Through conformity, through doing it right, getting it done well, being applauded by elders until you see that you've become a perfectly diluted replica of a lie. And all of a sudden, no offense to the cliche, you're walking in lockstep to your faux enlightenment. You are Fred Flintstone. You're just a deadbeat icon from way back, thinking that you're super hip, rad, and contemporary because you can say the word right. You can play the note right, but you have no dexterity, no improvisational skill. You can't riff. You cannot do spontaneity. You can only do conformity. I ask you today as we close, are you living regardless of what we see in the world, no, regardless of the obstacles, regardless of the affiliations, regardless of the cost to be true, are you living in the fear, in the huddle of conformity to false gods and pretentious projections? All the while, you'll only die, Mr. Clements, without the applause of your own conscience and integrity. Never abandon your integrity, young lady. Never abandon your dignity, the stature of your own unique creative expression of Dhamma in action. This is my way of processing anxiety, by the way. I have a lot of anxiety just riffing through, and I don't even know where it comes from, except that it's being felt, and it's not a problem, but I'm really allowing it to free flow rather than identify with it, because it's so easy by saying, Alan, this is real anxiety, not faux anxiety. You just can't be mindful of this anxiety, dude. You got to identify with it because it's your health, it's your longevity, it's your future, and if you get it wrong, you will die. It's real anxiety. It is real stress. It is true entitled dukkha. Well, guess what? No, it's not. I'm going to free flow through the artistry of non-coagulation with delusion and fear and panic and prediction and narratives of confinement. I refuse to participate in anything other than my infinity and my vulnerability and facing the faces of my own mind and saying, I love you. I want to learn from you. I want to know you. I want to grow with you. I want to find the immortal freedom through and with you, angel of death, angel of prediction, angel of disease, angel of discontinuity, all the variations on your beautiful fragrance. Namaste. But no, thank you. I want to dance. I want to play. I want to be free till the final breath takes its bigger breath. Never give up. Facing the faces of your own interiority. Never give up facing the love affair and the horror of the faces of the world. Keep alive your Dhamma, Alan, regardless, and keep alive the Dharma artistry of infusing the overcoming of self-generated contraction, conformity, and never give up the release into the play, the theater, the art, the eroticism of freedom. The art of freedom. That is our psychology, how to enact, how to live in the liberation of freedom. What are those colors on your palette that paint the light of transparency that refuses to grasp, and when it's felt, aha, I see you, phantom, just a dream, namaste. The Dharma artistry of liberating freedom as the vocation of our lives. And with that, how could we be who we are without each other, right? The earth, the sun, our moms, our dads, our children, our friends, our strangers, the encounters, the wink, the nods, wherever we go, keeping alive the laugh, the sensitivity, the play, the intimacy, the non-afraidness to make contact with strangers. We are all in this together. Dancing with life, dancing with love, dancing with freedom, and refusing to participate in any narrative of conformity that says you here must cease your art of liberty. No. It doesn't matter. It does not matter what you throw at me. I refuse to participate in conformity with narrowness, with myopia, with delusion, with anxiety, with stress, with fear. Yes, be human, but namaste to you. I see you. I love you. I want to learn from you. All the faces of self and all the faces of life. I want to learn to know you, to liberate with you and through you, and to find that this experience of existence is one of freedom, not conformity. Liberty, not self-denigration. Kindness, absolutely non-cruelty. What are those qualities that you want to play with? What are those characters in your own heart, Alan, that you want to bring to life and to make real on this shared stage of existence? So thank you for allowing me to be in this simple process of just simply raving at the wild moon goddess in our own souls today. Thank you for being in my life. I'm very happy to say that the renowned journalist John Milken, who is a long-standing radio show at Radio Free Santa Cruz, has done a feature interview with me about my newly released documentary film, Spiritually Incorrect, which is you can view on filmsforaction.org under that title. And the first published review of my book, Extinction X-Rated, he did a 45-minute interview that will be up on Radio Free Santa Cruz starting Thursday. And if you go online, I'm told through John that the entire interview and the review and his own reportage in an article will be in the Santa Cruz Sentinel on Thursday. So thank you, John Milken. Thank you for the people at the Santa Cruz Sentinel. And I'm looking forward to seeing it and reading it, hearing it. And if you have interest, may you check it out. And on the Santa Cruz Free Radio and also on the Santa Cruz Sentinel newspaper. I'm also happy to announce that my colleague and I, my very dear friend Fergus Harlow, co-author of the books Burma's Voices of Freedom, we are well into the development of an online World Dharma 2.0 video course that will be offered worldwide freely on Dana, the ancient Buddhist Pali word of unconditional gifting to the world. That is well underway. The videos have been filmed, they've been edited. I am honored by the donors for their generous donation to make these videos possible, and to the remarkable editor, Gemma, who edited these fine videos, and now they're being summarized and sequenced, and we're developing an ongoing course that will have a multiplicity of various interesting elements to it. And a lot of the talks that I've been giving over the last 3 or 4 years, a number of them will be edited and included in the course, along with a variety of other writing and practices that will be videoed and included in the upcoming course in the several months to come. So for those of you who want to make sense of all these years of talks, retreats, workshops, my life in a monastery in Burma, my time with the revolutionaries in Burma, Da Aung San Suu Kyi, U Tin Oo, U Win Tin, the lessons I've gleaned from them and the lessons they have gleaned from their own heroic struggle for democracy and freedom, my travels around the world, art, humor, comedy, theater, writing. I'm putting it all into what would I call a decentralized cognitive blockchain, a centerless sharing without leader, taking the whole blockchain consciousness, the crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum consciousness, a decentralized store of value, and allowing people worldwide to participate in the evolution of these shared teachings into a world Dharma beyond self, beyond leader, beyond religion. What are the intrinsic qualities of being in this cognitive field of existence and context that are discernible, that can be mindfully engaged and intelligently applied for the transformation of overcoming fear, greed, and delusion in the elevation of love, compassion, wisdom, the paramis, and if you do aspire for the enlightenment itself. What does Nibbana mean as a living, radiant experience here and now, and possibly in a more dimensional, full-time experience into the future? They're coming. And thank you for that participation. I reiterate, they will be offered, God willing, freely to the world on Dana. So from my heart to the donors in my life, to the supporters in my life, to the people reaching out, oh yes, soon I will be leaving this area. I don't know exactly the date, but probably within the next 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks. Once I come to deep clarity soon on surgery or no surgery, although my inclinations, my intuition, my Dhamma is telling me to keep the gift alive as long as possible, look for the Dharma cure, reevaluate, see where I'm at, but I'm not sure exactly at the moment. but more to the point is that I am destined, I am queuing up, I am inviting those boys and girls and men and women around the world who want to stand and sit and anoint in the fidelity of a heightened Dharma co-creation in a retreat environment. I'm hoping to put that together on Maui financially and God willing, and also on the blessed island of Bali, which I've been frequenting off and on for close to 40 years. Both of these two sacred homes, and if Australia arises and opens, a return, hopefully, if we're still walking and talking, to Byron Bay. So this is on my agenda. If you have interest, many of you have written, texted, messaged me. If you have interest in participating in these events, write me. It'll be made public at some point, but it's out there. I really want it to happen. If you have resources and you want to co-create this, offer a beautiful estate in McKenna that can house 50 people, okay? You're a billionaire. Give us Lanai, the whole island, okay? You're the former owner of Oracle, okay? Drop in, okay? Give us, Mr. Zuckerberg, most of Kauai. You've got a massive 700-acre mansion there. Donate it to us for a month to do a retreat. Thank you, Mr. Zuckerberg. Yes, I'm all over the Dana model, being given as well as received. So if you're interested, join the revolution. It's going to be radical, non-noise, super cool, high yoga, jungle dance, quiet, infinity, tears of love, intimate, erotic, love-making, meditative silence, purity of fasting and food, bathing in the bathing in the luminosity of the sun, drinking of the fluid of infinity. I want to heal, I want to grow, even if I die, even if you pass, even if someone's diagnosed with an inoperable brain tumor. I want you to live beyond form with me together and do something radically special. And for those of you who will not be able to participate, the online offering will be up probably sometime in the fall. We're going as fast as we can. If you have things that you want to support, resources, time, graphic artists, editors, whatever you can do, we need support to make this thing real. Write me, text me, yes, I wish to do something. We need all of it. And so that's a little bit on the horizon. And I do have also plans, if I may here, to do a new show called The Fusion of Spiritually Incorrect on a mega dose of psilocybin plus DMT plus Nirvana and Extinction X-rated, which is all of those things plus. And I want to do a new satirical gallows humor on Dead Man Walking, planet in deterioration, so that you and I together refuse to be taken down no matter what. That our resilience is so rad that none of us anymore, we refuse to participate in the conventional lies that somehow, because I am getting older, or I have no money, or that I've been diagnosed with some kind of illness, I'm going to die, or the planet is in radical collapse, the earth is going to be engulfed by the sun. Well, guess what? We are going to continue our style, our rad, our swag, our satire, our dark comedy. We refuse to cry alone as hardship, and we'll do that too. So that's coming. It's giving me a sense of purpose and hope. And the last offering I want to do is, I've been promising this, but I haven't gotten to it, is I want to read sections of this book and to create both an audio book and a video book, because I wrote it as a spoken word event. It wasn't meant to be read alone, although you can read it in 64 different sections, each of them symbolic of the elements of how I determine the meaning of a Tibetan tanka, the wheel of life, symbols of archetypes that reflect novel experiences in the individual. But I want to do an audio and video version of the book because it allows me the joy of enunciation and tonality and energy. And I do believe in the auditory video exchange to be somehow more heightened and more intimate and more provocative and more compelling and more eroticized than just the eye on page and print, valuable as it is. And the book was not really meant to be a book. It was meant to be a hologram, a tanka, a cognitive wheel of life, where we're in the middle of it, looking at the faces of our own lives, judging the hell out of me as the author, and the condemnation of the objects within the narrative as being, oh my God, he has an affinity to Donald Trump. Well, this is just symbolic of you in the mandala of your own denial. Why do I hate Trump as virtue? Because I'm a dual idiot. What can I learn by the projection of my duality? Welcome to Extinction X-Rated. It's a very, very clever premise. But I want to read it and do audio and visual sections of it. And if anyone is in Santa Monica or LA who's technologically swift with camera, video, and audio, please contact me and come over and allow me to film and record this project before I die. They tell me I'm going to die if I don't get surgery, like soon. And it's just very hard to get my head around this surreal diagnoses. That's another topic altogether. But I refuse to participate in the event of conformity. I refuse to buy the propaganda. Yes, it's true. But I'm going to live as freely and as humanly and as artistically as I possibly can, and practice the fine art of elegant engagement and non-attachment, with humor and satire and play and dance, and the love of simplicity and eroticism, and go into the future with everything imaginable and then more. So from my heart to yours, have a beautiful day, and I hope to see you tomorrow here 9:30 in the morning. Thank you from my heart.